Good morning and welcome to the morning show with Angel and Tina and our guests. We have so much fun lined up for you today. Our guests in their virtual studios. Tina, how are you doing?
It's Monday morning. I feel like we're like an official talk show now because you know how the talk shows, the morning shows have like the little cooking segment. We have a cooking segment today.
we have was it Cochina Maribel? Should I call you Chef Maribel? Do I call you Cochina Maribel? What do you want us to call you?
Cocina.
Well, cocina, yeah.
Cocina, sorry.
It's kitchen.
Yeah, in Spanish. And Maribel, it's just call me Maribel. It's Chef Maribel for other people.
Hey, chef.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
Maribel, and you are in your kitchen today, getting ready to cook us up something pretty awesome. Where are you located?
I'm in Austin, Texas.
Okay, all right. All the way from Austin. And Tami, how are you today?
I am doing great.
Oh, and where are you from?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, right next to Tina.
You are like your neighbors, and did you
are.
know each other?
We do. We know each other from eWomen Network here in Charlotte.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Well, Tina, I know you had a very exciting weekend.
I was trying to do it. Hold on. One moment, please.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to do our trying to do a watch party.
Oh, doing the watch party. Okay. Well, while she's doing that,
one moment, please.
What are we cooking up today in the kitchen?
So we are doing biscuits and gravy being the most important sauce, I think. And since the holidays are coming around, I want to talk about gravy and how you can have the best gravy. So yeah, that's what we're cooking today.
Right. And you're hosting a workshop this week on how to make the best gravy. Am I right?
Yeah, it's a free class on October 22nd. So coming up. Yeah. So we'll talk about that.
Oh my God. Okay. So let me ask you a question really quickly before I had a busy weekend. So when you make gravy, so you know how the Italians, they say they making gravy, but it's their sauce, right?
Red sauce. Yeah.
So is that what you're saying too?
No. I'm talking like, gravy. The brown. Yeah, brown sauce. Theirs is red sauce.
They always say, "Hey, I got to make the gravy," and I'm like,
"That's an American term." Yeah. So, yeah, that's why. I mean, any kind of
like gravy. I thought you were making sauce. They're like, "We call it gravy," and I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, I think somehow we came to America, and then the word gravy, like it's gravy. That just applies to any sauce.
Any sauce. Brown, white, red, whatever it is.
Exactly.
We had a conversation this weekend over the difference between dinner and supper. Do you guys call it supper or do you guys call it dinner?
I call it dinner, but since I moved to the South like 20 years ago, everyone here calls it supper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Tami, are you dinner or supper?
I still call it dinner.
Dinner? Maribel, dinner or supper?
I call it dinner. They always say Texas is not really part of the South, and I agree. It's more southwest. So we call it dinner here, except in the country, they call it supper.
Yeah. I thought I saw it's a big Texas thing. It says put the South in your mouth. Like it's a thing. Like it's the of the South or Texas. Is that not true?
That's true, but I mean, it's a big state. So if you go east, heading towards the real South of the United States, then you're going to hear more of the drawl, more of the influence. But if you go, west too, but I don't know. I'm in the city.
I don't care. I'm in the city. I'm not a country girl.
So how long does it take to make gravy, Maribel? Are you going to do it throughout the show? Are we going to stretch it out? Like, how do you want this to flow?
No, it's going to be just like the cooking show where they go, and then you take about a half an hour and voila, it's done.
I'm going to there's two ways to do gravy, and I'm going to do the short way, and I'm going to kind of talk about what I'm doing and how you can apply it to Thanksgiving Day.
Okay.
Oh,
fabulous. Fabulous. All right. Well, Tina had a very exciting weekend, and I know you're just excited to share everything.
did.
So I'll let you
Okay,
share
so
your
first of
story.
all, you guys know that I was going to go get my eyebrows microbladed, right? So I went and got my eyebrows microbladed.
They are gorgeous.
I didn't do it. Well, she goes, you woke up like this? I said, yeah, I woke up like this. I didn't wake up like this.
So normally you would like.
So normally I pencil them in because like this part over don't grow anymore. Like I used to get my eyebrows threaded and waxed and the whole thing, but it just stopped growing. So when you get older, you just put them in there. Well, I didn't even put.
Okay, I'm looking at all of your eyebrows. I want to know what your eyebrow routine is.
She's like,
my friends posted high school pictures and I look like, worse than Brooke Shields. My eyebrows were like the guy from Schitt's Creek, that guy, that's what my eyebrows look like. I'm not kidding. If we had a little photo, I'd post it up, but that's what my eyebrows look like. So I'm kind of blessed and I thread mine and yeah. So
do you pencil this in or is it just threaded?
It's just threaded. Yeah.
So those are
got
yours.
those good Spanish eyebrows.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah. They're very almost Arabic.
And bless all of you guys have the darker hair. So I have the lighter hair. My eyebrows are like super light. And so like when you get to the ends, like you can barely see them. So I do, I normally wax. I'll do that like when I'm going to get a pedicure or something, I'll get a wax in my eyebrows and just to clean up around the sides. And it's normally like hair you can't even see anyways. But I just pencil in at this point.
It was just so easier. So it was like two things I wanted to do. I wanted to get my eyebrows, microbladed or tattooed. And then I wanted to get eyelashes, right? So I'm still waiting on the eyelashes. But then, so after I went and got my eyebrows done, I went to this wellness center. And they do a whole like holistic thing to help you through like trauma and things that you're holding on, baggage, old baggage that you're holding on to, just different things. But they do a cold and hot water immersion, and they are the only center in the world that does this. But a little disclaimer. So Tami, you can come down to Mooresville. So, holy Christ! The water was so cold. It was 30 degrees. I got in there and I was just shaking, and you have to breathe. Like you have to get out of your head and you got to like just breathe because it's all in your mind,
Okay, hold on. Is it like a tub where you're
okay? So they had two hot tubs. They had a cold tub, and a hot tub.
Okay, so you get in it and you sit.
And yeah, well,
or lay, or
you got in there and I stood there shaking, and he was like, "Okay, when you're ready, you gotta sit." And I'm like, I can't.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh my gosh. But I did. It felt like a whole hour. It was 7 minutes.
7 minutes?
7 minutes. And it was all the way up to here, but it was this part of my body that made me like, it almost like it was put me into shock. So it's supposed, that cold water is supposed to shock your body and helps you release your fear and all kinds of things. And you got to put your arms in. And I was like,
so did you come out like all transformed and like?
So then after the cold water, they had to help me out because nothing was working. Like my feet were frozen and my hands were like frozen. I couldn't like undo my hands because they were like this. And so I got out, and then you get into the hot water, and then they did this like amazing, like releasing, like letting things go type of experiment. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna tell you what it was, but it was. If you have baggage that you're holding on to or old trauma.
Did you cry? Did you cry? Was it emotional?
Cried and cried and cried and cried.
Wow.
Like kind of crying.
Oh.
And they do a shaman thing, like it was like a whole thing. And then he said, okay, now that you're in the hot water, we got to get back in the cold water for 1 minute. I went,
oh,
from the hot water. And once I got in the cold water again, I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's hysterical. I could see that. How many times did you have to?
It was just once. So I stayed in the cold water the once, you know, I was completely dry, gone into the cold water. That was for 7 minutes. I got in my legs and then I sat, and then I sat some more. But like I said, once it was like from here up, that's what got me. Like, whew. Like I felt like my heart was like in shock. But then he put me out into the warm water, and then he was like, he did some, you know, things with me in there. And then he was like, you got to get back into the cold water. I'm like, oh, what?
Don't make me. I have a hard time turning the shower to cold, like at the end. I know they say that's so therapeutic to, you know, have that cool water rinse at the end. And so every now and then I get brave and I do it because
it's really good for your hair follicles too.
It's good for everything, your skin, inflammation, like all the good stuff. And it doesn't cost anything, right? To turn your water.
My arm feels so much better. I mean, I can't raise it all the way up, but it feels impressive. So much better.
Okay, well, let's have our chef start doing some cooking and tell us how to make some.
Can we get our biscuits? Gravy.
Let me go get them and put them in the oven. But I'm going to put them in my oven, and then I'm going to start the gravy. And so basically, there's two types of gravy. There's the pan gravy, right, where people usually roast any kind of chicken, or in our case, turkey. Or if you have like a piece of chicken, like I have here,
magically appears as if from nowhere.
Yeah. You're gonna
have the raw chicken and the cooked chicken.
Yeah, I don't have the cooked chicken, but my main point is that you're gonna get these like lovely brown bits here, and that is the secret ingredient that is not explained in a recipe ever. And I'm gonna prophesize that this is the most important part, because once you create that, those brown bits, this is part of your gravy and your flavor, but you have to take out the oil from whatever you were cooking. So I did that. And then the three most important vegetables that you're going to need for Thanksgiving is an onion, carrots, and celery. Okay. So this is called a mirepoix, right? It is French. But this is, even though it's French, this is kind of ubiquitous between all over the world in terms of flavors that build when you're making a sauce, any kind of sauce, actually. So the gravy that we know, which is a brown sauce, includes those three elements and some broth. So you need that turkey or whatever. And so you actually, rather than waiting at the end when your turkey's done, you can actually start this the day before, actually. You could get like turkey wings, you can start your pan gravy, you can do your, on my free class, I'm going to talk about how you could do this ahead of time. I think the most important thing about Thanksgiving is that it's so much at once. And how many people actually cook that feast? I mean, it takes years to get to that level. So thinking like a chef, because most chefs in restaurants will break it up. They don't do everything at once. Also, they have a whole team of people to help them.
I love that you said that. Like, it is a whole feast, and it takes years, right, to get to that level. Whereas,
okay, now I'm going to add this. And now I'm going to add this. And now instead of this at the store, I'm going to make this homemade.
As a young mom or a new bride, or like you have a new family, like you feel like, oh my gosh, I have to like do like this whole thing. And you're in the kitchen completely frazzled. So I love that you gave us permission to do that.
Did you cook your first turkey when Jake got married?
Say that again. I was choking on myself.
Did you cook your first turkey when you and Jay got married?
I think it was a few years because both our parents lived close.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, we have moms that we went to. So it was we were married for several years before I ever made my first turkey and my first Thanksgiving dinner. But it does feel like you have to do like the whole thing. Tami, what are you doing for Thanksgiving this year? Has your mother-in-law already asked you that?
No, she's going to be down this next weekend, so I'm sure we will be told what she is planning on doing. But my mom lives near us, and so normally we're all splitting it up and having different people make different things and all getting together.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. No, and that's the way it should be. Yeah, that's the way it should be. But my hope is that I have a course actually that I'm doing in November. We're going to go week by week and do all the sides, and we're going to go live every week. And then the day of Thanksgiving, we will put the turkey in together virtually. And yeah. So that, somebody, and this is my hope, that somebody has their first house and they're newly married in a new home, that they have somebody to help them. And that's what I'm hoping to do. But we first start with the most important sauce at the table, which is the gravy. So what I've done just right now is I put a little butter into my pan, and you can deglaze the pan with a little bit of wine or something acidic like that. It gives it a lot of flavor. Since we're doing biscuits and gravy, it's the morning, I'm not going to do that. But what I am
going to put bourbon.
Yeah, you could like bourbon gravy, and that's where you get like different flavors. Like some people put sherry in their gravy, things like that, and that's where you build your flavors at every level. So right now I'm just adding onion because that'll kind of lift all of those brown bits into my onion, and then I will add celery and carrots that I have chopped up.
They're already chopped.
They're already chopped. Like she put them over there whole. And I love the cooking show magic.
Cooking show magic.
It is. And Maribel, my kids would totally agree with you on like the stuff on the bottom of the pan whenever we make chicken. Like take it out and then take all of that goodness, and my husband will add a little wine and broth, and he'll then boil it down and create this little like thick sauce that they put over their chicken, and they think is the best thing ever.
It is the best thing.
You guys take your gravy, and like after you make your Thanksgiving plate, look, I haven't even thought of Thanksgiving. I like went straight to Christmas, but now I'm like, ooh, Thanksgiving dinner. My whole family makes their dinner, and then they take the gravy and goes
over everything.
Over the whole plate.
I think it's super important, and it can save your turkey if it's a little dry, So I think it's super important, and so this is just gathering I would probably do this in a sauce pot, something bigger, but just so you can see what I'm doing, I'm lifting that up, and I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to let it sweat. And sweating me.
Maribel, like that right there looks like that could be the basic for pretty much. I mean, you can make a soup out of that. You can make
chicken noodle soup.
Yes, and that's what I teach in my classes. It's like these are the techniques that everyone should learn that are not part. I mean, like you don't need a recipe. Once you learn the techniques, they translate into a soup, they translate into a sauce, they translate into a braise, a stew. So these are the things that I teach in my course.
This is like, and then your house smells like so yummy.
This is the best smell. When I wake up for Thanksgiving, it just transports me to when I'm like, like your kids that are waking up and your mom's already cooking at the crack of dawn, like at 9 or 10, which my mom did, like at 8. And I'd wake up to her making the stuffing. And it's this smell that I just never want to. I always want to go back to that, you know. And if we just kind of learn the basics, we can do it all together. And yeah, you can have somebody do that side and that side. But my hope is that like young couples do it together rather than just one person be, assigned to do it all.
The man is supposed to get up and not watch TV all day and football all day and actually help the wife?
Yes. Well,
I've heard it could be done. I've heard of that.
I can't complain about that.
And as Jade peeps over from the door, he says,
"Your husband does the cooking, Tami?"
He does. Yes. I mean, I do. Like we joke. He cooks. I bake. But yeah, he does most of our cooking. He loves cooking. So I'm like, you love it, you do it.
Cooking and baking are two very different skill sets. Absolutely.
That's true. Most, somebody might prefer to cook, and baking is like one extra thing. But yeah, I mean, I think it should be like a joint effort. I am going to put a little cooking wine here just to kind of deglaze everything, and that'll just help everything kind of come together.
You smelled that. I have smell-o-vision.
You did. That's so powerful. That is so powerful.
The future is coming.
Right, smell-o-vision. And then we can transport the biscuits through the TV too. Well, after I went on a walk this morning with my dog, and after the walk, I was like, oh, it's nice and crisp and fall outside. So I have chili cooking and simmering on the stove right now.
Oh, look at you. So I'm just going to add a little bit of flour, just a little bit, and I'm going to let that cook. And it doesn't matter that it's all here because I'm going to strain this and then it'll be silky beautiful later. But I'm going to let that flour cook, and that's the way that you thicken any sauce other than cream. You can use yucca flour if you're gluten intolerant. Yucca flour, not tapioca flour. There's a difference. So I working in a restaurant, you come across so many allergens, people with allergies. So I'm okay with using yucca flour to thicken sauces. You could do it for a stew or anything. So this is just cooking, and it's kind of getting thick. And then after that, I could either add a little bit more butter.
Who can use another stick of butter in their stuff, right?
not too much, but just a little bit
like
extra.
Palatine or anything.
No, nothing like that.
2 sticks of butter.
Just a little kiss right here. And then that'll loosen up because now the flour is kind of sticking. And then I'll add my broth, and then that'll simmer. And then I'm just going to let it do its magic. And I'll add some aromatics like bay leaf and peppercorn, whole peppercorn. And I use parsley stems, not the leaves, because the stems don't get bitter in any kind of liquid. And the leaves of herbs tend to get bitter because they're tender. So using the stems is a little bit better. And that's
a tip that I don't think I ever knew about.
Yeah. So this is my chicken broth. And and so for basically for Thanksgiving, I would definitely do my gravy ahead of time. I prefer to debone the whole turkey, put it into pieces. Then I don't have to worry about putting it in any kind of liquid. It's not going to take up my refrigerator. And I have that beautiful carcass to create the most amazing gravy. Okay, guys, this is the best when you have the carcass and the whole backbone, and then you let it simmer for hours, or you can put it in your Instant Pot now or your pressure cooker. And that will be the base of the most amazing flavor. And then we would do this ahead of time, and then also gather all the bits from the turkey at the bottom when it's done, and then incorporate that all together, and you're golden. That's it.
Okay, so I'll be the novice in the room.
Please.
There's stuff in your gravy. Like there's,
She said she was gonna strain it.
How do
Yes.
you, how?
So I have this, well, this is an example. You get one of these. Actually, I have a bigger one. And then I strain it, and then I have all the vegetables left here, and then only the liquid comes out, and then it'll be silky beautiful.
But the liquid's so thick, right? Does it?
Yeah, it goes through.
It does? Okay, because
Yeah.
I'm thinking you need like, something with some really big holes so that the gravy
No.
is thick.
No,
what do you do with the vegetables afterwards? Do you use that in your stuffing?
No, I don't, because it's done its job. It's cooked down. Once it starts simmering, it's done its job. This is what I call my flavor agent. It's my agent of flavor for my gravy. It's done its job, and then I decompose it. Yeah, and I decompose, I put in my compost. But this is what I'm going to need a lot of for Thanksgiving, for my stuffing, and I'll need a fresh amount think of this as spices.
Okay.
And this is
don't reuse them. Don't reuse your spices. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you have it fresh, and then it exudes its flavor.
Yeah.
And, that's why I think of it as my like agent of flavor for whatever I need it for. Then it cooks down, and then it'll be overcooked, and I won't get. I mean, you could put it in your stuffing, but it's not the same when it's fresh. And so, yes, I would use the same vegetables for my stuffing. I keep it very simple and very classic on my stuffing. I don't do the cornbread and other things, but you could, because I know that's very Southern. And nuts and whatever. I just keep it simple, herbs, my flavor agents, and a lot of herbs and a lot of butter. And the bread has to be perfect. So that's yeah. And that's another reason why you need a lot of gravy, because the gravy keeps the stuffing nice and moist. Yeah. Something I also do ahead of time. So it's still kind of
do you call it stuffing or do you call it dressing?
Oh, I call it stuffing. Yeah.
I call it stuffing too. What about you, Tami? Stuffing or dressing?
Yeah, stuffing.
Is
Tami,
there a difference?
Okay, well, I'm gonna while that's brewing or stewing or sweating.
Yes. It's simmering. It's simmering.
Simmering. I'm gonna bring Tami's into the conversation a little bit more about her expertise and what she brings to the table. She says that nothing changes until you decide for it to change. Actually, let me pull it over here. I've got it on the other screen, but now I want to pull it over here. So Tami's a breakout growth expert, an energy shifter, a speaker who inspires successful professionals who are dreaming to redesign and do something new. She helps guide her clients through the sometimes overwhelming prospect of changing careers or starting a new business. Or me, I'm moving across the country after living here for 35 years in the same house for over 20 years. So I'm feeling like a lot. But anyways, don't mind me. After spending 20 years in leadership roles, she decided she wanted to help more people and be her own boss. Ooh, you had a big shift too after 20 years. She has made it her mission to liberate independent, success-minded professionals from the shackles of a corporate career so they can start, grow, and scale their own business and not only replace their corporate income, but exceed it. She is a mom of 2 girls, a wife to a chiropractor who cooks an amazing Thanksgiving dinner. And her daughter calls them the traveling family because they love to travel to new places and explore the world. Well, goodness gracious, Tami, it's so good to have you here on our cooking show on our Thanksgiving special today.
Tami, I think you need to update your bio because you left something out.
That'd be my new release here.
Tami is a new author.
Just got my published book actually while we were sitting here. This is my proof. My husband just texted me and said, your books are outside of your door because we share an office. So he knew I was doing this interview and he's like, your books are outside. So now I've got my books finally. I can like send them out to people.
This is the first time that you were able to hold it physically?
Yes. So I got this about a week or 2 ago, my proof. And so now I finally got the final ones here. Haven't even seen them yet, but Yeah, my book is You Already Made the Decision, You're Just Not Happy with It. And it is a guide on how to make better decisions or live with the ones you've made.
Is this your first book?
It is my first book. I was not one of those people who said I wanted to write a book. And so this year, that all came about in a very different way than I was expecting. So
congratulations to
thank
you very much. That's very exciting being an author. We talk about, growing businesses and getting exposure, and being a published author is the number one way to catapult that. So welcome to the club. Welcome to the journey. And you can hold it and love it and pet it like you should. It's a
very
soft
and
yeah. Tami, how do you feel now that you have your book in your hand?
It's so funny because I have so many other things going on too, that I was like, I got my book and I'm like middle of a book launch, but I'm also have a retreat coming up. So I'm like, I've kind of been in this, like, I haven't truly celebrated the whole thing. And so we did have a book launch party last week, and it was finally like, oh, like now I get to like accept that I've done this and start celebrating it, because it was a big thing. And I don't think I realized going through it how big of.
I think that's an important thing to share, Tami, because I think a lot of people can relate to that. Like, we have so many things that we're working on and so many things that are going on. And I think that oftentimes as entrepreneurs, we're just like, check next. But this is really a huge milestone. It is something to celebrate. And I love that you recognize that and took the time to do it, because this is where we can start to get burnt out. When we're just doing, if we don't take time to celebrate the results and the milestones and the accomplishments, then it's hard to, it's easy to let the overwhelm kind of dig in and take over, don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, we all, we've got all these things we want to do. And when you're in the middle of doing them, you forget to take a step back and actually celebrate what you've done and recognize your accomplishments and, see yourself for everything that you've achieved. Instead, we're just, a lot of times we like look at the faults and all the things that aren't going well, or, what do I need to adjust? And, sometimes you just got to stop and say, look at all I've done, look at all I've accomplished, and recognize yourself for who you are.
Tami, how long did it take you to write your book?
About a month, maybe like 2 months total, but I honestly, I kept procrastinating. I was like, went to a book.
Month and 2 months that was with procrastination. Yeah, you
got in 7 years.
Yeah, no, I know. And I have friends who are like still talking about writing their book, and they're like, you didn't even want to write a book. How is it you got this done? And so, yeah, I mean, when I finally like set my mind to it, I was like
focused, and you just got it done.
Exactly. And I think once you get that idea of really what it is and you get your outline, then it's easier to just go fill in the blanks. Like, fill in the stories you want to talk about, fill in the examples you want to use. And it comes together much quicker when you have all that ready for you.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that they can get out of the book? What are some of the tips that they can get?
Yeah. So in here, I give like some quick tips about how to make faster decisions, make better decisions. And so one of the areas I like to talk about is a friend of mine, she used to say her grandma used to tell her that you had to do the rocking chair test. And so the rocking chair test is, you're thinking about, 10, 20, 30 years from now, sitting out on your front porch, and Tina, us from the South understand this example, like sitting out on your front porch in your rocking chair, and you're sitting there talking to, your friends or your kids or even your grandkids, and you think back about the decisions you've made. Are you excited about them? Can you look back and say, I made the right decision?
To your grandchildren, this is what I did.
Yes.
Instead of going, oh yeah, I won't tell you that part.
Exactly. And, so it's like, can you like picture yourself in the future saying, I made the right decision and this is what I should do? And so those are, I call it the 10-10-10. What are you going to think in 10 minutes from now? What are you going to think in 10 months from now? What are you going to think in 10 years? And when you can put your decisions out into the future and reflect back to say, what does that decision mean? You put it in a different perspective. and you take yourself out of the overwhelm that you're in right now.
Beautiful.
You have people in your house?
I do have people in my house. And now I can't see. So our friend Courtney Apps, I'm crying actually. So hold on. My friend Courtney Apps,
Why are you crying? What happened?
posted this thing yesterday from her Jesus Calling devotional. Are you guys familiar with the Jesus Calling daily devotional?
I have the book and I have the app.
Do you have the app? It's so amazing that, here are these things that just, in a book for every single person in the world to read, right? Like in any given day, anybody could read it, but yet you open up and you read it and it speaks to you just so personally, in that moment. Well, she did you see this from yesterday, the one that she shared? But it says, and I won't read the whole thing, but sometimes the way before you appears to be blocked. Like the thing that you want, there seems to be like this obstacle in the way. And so it says, if you focus on the obstacle or search for a way around it, you will probably go off course and instead focus on me, the shepherd who is leading you along the life journey, because before you know it, that obstacle will be behind you and you will hardly know how you passed through it. And so often we look at the obstacle, we look at like the thing that's in front of us and we're like thinking we've got to figure it out. Yeah. And so the reason I'm crying is because we found a house when we were in Florida, but there's so many obstacles in the way, but we got the house.
Yay! Your dream house?
That is awesome.
Yay! Let me tell you guys, I know she can't talk, but let me tell you guys, this house is like the most beautiful, most perfect house for the Tessies because it has a media room. It has a place for her retreat center. It has like this room in the corner. Like it was designed to be her studio, like the Angel and Tina Morning Show studio. Like it was designed. There's a pool there. Like she has it. Honey, you just manifested this whole thing.
That is awesome. Oh, you got your pictures? Beautiful.
Yeah, this is my house.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so how did you get it? Tell us how you got it.
I didn't. God got it.
God did.
Yeah, it didn't have anything to do with us.
Oh, what a day. What a day. Okay. It's about you, Tami. Back to you, Tami. You're a brand new published author. I'm so excited.
Nice try. You're like, I mean, we just got to celebrate you. So we got to take a minute. I mean, that's what we were just talking about. Like, let's celebrate you. That's so awesome.
This is not like a small feat. Like every day, well, because of this, we had to do this. So I'm probably not going to get it. Well, we asked him for this. And so we're probably not going to get it. And well, now this, because now this, and this. And so we're probably not going to get it.
It was a whole lot of, it's probably not going to happen.
It's paperwork that you never think when you're a business owner that you have to have these other things behind you. And so Angel had to do a lot of.
Yeah, because we're entrepreneurs, right? And unemployed really, and all of that, right? So, yeah, there's been so many, but we had decided like at one point, we're like, you know what? We're going to sell the house anyways. We're just going to put the house on the market. We're going to sell the house and we're going to go to Florida. And because no matter what, like we'd have to sell the house. And so with a whole leap of faith, put the house on the market, found a buyer pretty quickly. And so we're in the process of going out, but not having a home to go into, not really knowing where we're going to be and just totally trusting.
And you were going to take a leap of faith to just go and stay at your mom and dad's house, right? Like, we're just going to stay there until we find our place. It might be 6 months. It might be a year. We're just going to stay there. And look what happened. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay present. What's going on here?
Honey,
so you literally just found out while we were on this call.
Yeah, he like opened the door. So, and the text, we'd the guy who owns the home, we made him an offer, and he's like, it's not a very strong offer. I'm like, it's all we can do given our situation right now. And they're like, we can't do anything. Like, that's it. That's all we can't close on a house until February. And so we were trying all these different things to get around it and trying to figure it out, and just had to just release that. And he just texted Jay and said, yeah, I talked to my wife.
That's so
the wife said, okay, well, Chef is probably needing an update on her sauce, her gravy that she's making.
Okay.
Yeah, now we've got a clean pan. What happened there? I missed it.
Well, so I took all of the ingredients out of my pan, and I put it in this strainer right here so that I could strain it. And so see that liquid coming out?
Yeah.
So now I have gravy.
Oh,
can you see?
Ooh,
So
that's pretty.
had it the whole time that we were away. You just had it simmering in that stuff that we left you in, right?
Yeah. I added the bay leaf and the peppercorns and parsley stems.
I saw you adding spices and everything to it, but the strainer is what made it all smooth, right? Like, that's an important part of I've never done that.
Well, it's an important part to not have lumps. Some of your flour may not cook all the way, and you might have like a little granule. So you always want to strain your sauce, gravy, whatever you want to call it. It's a sauce. And so I have everything here perfectly seasoned, and it tastes delicious. And I'm just waiting for my biscuits, and then I will show you the finished plate.
So the broth that you put in, was that a chicken broth, or is it okay? So it could be chicken, it could be a beef broth, it could be your turkey broth. Okay.
Yeah. So for turkey gravy, I would use turkey broth, but if you need extra broth, you could use chicken gravy. They're in the same family.
Okay.
If I were making a beef stew, I would add beef broth to that stew to kind of enhance the flavor of the beef as well. And it just kind of helps everything cook together. So the chicken broth I made myself, and I know it doesn't have any extra sodium. It's from the bones, but there are some pretty good options out there. I like to go to the refrigerated section of my supermarket. They have some specialty ones that they do not have any sodium. So that's what I get if I need extra or I don't have enough. But I wish you could taste it because it's pretty good.
I know, I was like,
I know Tina was pretending. Ladies, I have to do. Oh, go ahead. Say that again. Say that again.
No, I was just going to say, please continue.
I have
to go to commercial break really quickly.
Yeah, I have
Angel,
to highlight.
while you're pulling that up, everybody is just congratulating you and saying that you cannot block what is your blessing. Everybody's saying praise God, thank you Jesus, and so celebrate, Angel.
It will.
He's still a little
clumped.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, I am. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a little.
That's exciting.
Thank goodness you don't have false eyelashes on today.
Yeah, I know. So Tina's got the microblade eyebrows. I have
the lashes.
I have my lashes done, so they don't fall off. I do wake up looking like this part. It's so fun having you two ladies here on the show with us this morning. I think it's just such a blessing what we get to do and how we get to bring people together and be that bright start to everybody's morning. When we started the morning show almost 150 episodes ago, you all, if you've been following the show, you know that when we first started, we thought it was just going to be something very temporary during what we thought was a temporary social distancing and pandemic, and a way to bring people together. And as this journey has continued, we've been able to continue every single morning, that bright start to your day. But really what makes the show so special is our guests. And so Tami and Maribel, thank you so much for being on here this morning. But we also have to say thank you and highlight our sponsors, because they're truly the support behind the Angel and Tina Morning Show. These are companies that came on alongside of us and said, we believe in your mission, we believe in your cause, we love what you're doing, and we want to be a part of it. And so they support us financially, which is a huge deal for a small business to get to a place where not only can you support your business, but you're sponsoring other platforms and other programs and other causes. And so we are incredibly grateful to Bliss by the Lake Boutique, who is our clothing sponsor. You can follow them on social media, online. They've got trunk shows and fashion shows, and they're always adding new inventory, and they ship anywhere across the country. So follow them at Bliss by the Lake Boutique. Zandra TV Network. We are globally syndicated on all those on-demand streaming digital platforms. You've got your favorite shows. Well, check out the Zandra TV Network on those platforms. You'll find the Angel and Tina Morning Show streamed on demand through the Zandra TV Network. And if you've ever thought about having your own TV show, I think I see a cooking show possibly in the making. Check out beonztv.com. That's beonztv.com, and just have an affordable, or check out their affordable marketing global experience. And then Sonic VA, right? We cannot get things done all by ourselves. We should not do it all. In fact, we should do what we do best and hire out all the rest. That's what Sonic VA comes alongside. If they have a team of virtual assistants, both here in the United States and in the Philippines, you can hire your own virtual assistant or a team of VAs to take all of that stuff off of your to-do list. And when you mention the Angel and Tina Morning Show, they're going to give you a 10% discount off your first 40 hours of VA service. This is an incredible deal. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it's only Monday and you're already got too much on your plate, check them out at sonicva.com, sonicva.com. Thank you, Zandra TV. Thank you, Bliss by the Lake. Thank you to Sonic VA. And thank you to our fabulous guests here today. I've got it together. This is a flipping big deal. Do you ever feel like, you're just walking into something that you just know is bigger than you, and like something really special is about to happen? It's a very humbling feeling. I will tell you that.
Right before the show, we were talking about, she was like, I'm leaving in 2 weeks, and 2 weeks from today, I'm leaving. And I'm like, it's okay. You're going to get this done. You're going to get this done. And she's like, maybe I shouldn't go. And I'm like, no, you're going. I mean, that, like I said, if you guys have been watching the Angel and Tina Morning Show, you guys know that this is all God ordained. Like, not just in the last month when she just last month, she put her house on the market, sold in 4 days. But 2 months ago, this has been like happening. She was like, we're starting to declutter. We're starting to sell stuff that we don't need. We're going to fix up this. We're going to fix up this. It was God just saying, I'm getting you prepared, right? Like, she was like, we haven't been down in our basement for years and years and years. And we started going through this, and we started going through this, and I sold this, and I sold this, and I sold this. And I mean, this whole thing. And then their kids, their brakes went out, and they decided to drive down to Orlando, and she didn't even want to go. I mean, this is all God ordained. And I mean, and that's how Tickle Pink Media started, because she took that road trip to Orlando, and she had an idea, and and she got all these different ideas of how, like Tickle Pink Media, like Tami, getting your book out there and getting it to the #1 bestseller, and creating a package where we help you get that exposure and that media and marketing for your book. And then she found this whole thing on how you can actually make a business and make more money selling this whole thing is God ordained. And like, she just said, okay, I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to do it. Okay, like, everything was just release and let go, release and let go. And God just said, okay, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Okay. And it is wonderful and a blessing to watch it. The girls needed a car, and she told me that morning, that afternoon, they got a car.
It has been. It has. I do feel a little bit like I'm in a fishbowl. Like my world is like I'm living in a fishbowl, and everybody knows what's happening, and so it's a little overwhelming there. But
reality show, and everybody gets to know more. She's getting her eyebrows done, and she's going to code and hot water immersion, and Angel's moving to Orlando.
Okay, so Tami, what exciting projects do you have coming up? How do people get in touch with you? How do they buy your book? All of that. Like, we just want to totally support you here from the Angel and Tina Morning Show, and I know that our listeners do too, or our audience does too.
Sure. I mean, the best way to see everything coming up is going to my website, TamiJaffe.com, and it's TamiJaffe, because it is spelled a little differently. So you can get everything there. But the biggest thing I have coming up right now is I have a retreat in just 2.5 weeks. So November 6th and 7th, and we are doing a virtual retreat, but it is going to be amazing. We've got 2 full days planned, got 15 sponsors, have an amazing gift box going out. I have boxes like sitting over here from all the sponsors sending me stuff right now. So excited to put those together this weekend and get those out to our VIP guests. And
what's the theme of the retreat?
Yeah, it's called the Inspired Possibilities Retreat. And our theme this year is taking off the mask. And so we are going to be talking about how we need to break through what is holding us back in our lives. What is those things that you guys were talking about? What's keeping us stuck? What's keeping us from moving forward and doing what we want to do? And so we're going to be breaking those things down and building it back up and setting your goals and giving you the resources you need to be able to move forward to do what you really want to do.
I love it. I love it. Are you giving everybody a sleep mask? I should send you some sleep masks.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to have one.
Right. So I always taught people that you can build your business from home without ever getting out of bed in the morning. Yeah. Right. And so this is how you can get exposure and make an impact. You don't even have to go anywhere. So I'll look and see if I've got any. If I do, how many VIPs are you expecting?
We're expecting 50.
50. Wow. I probably don't have 50, but if I do, I'll look. I'm going through everything.
Yes.
She's going through everything. She's been sending me little gifts here and there. Look at my little dog. She wants to make an appearance.
Oh,
this is Bella Rose.
So cute.
Yeah.
So spoiled. Okay, so they can sign up for the retreat. How do they sign up for the retreat? At TamiJaffe.com?
Yeah, you can go to TamiJaffe.com. There's a link there, or it's the InspiredPossibilitiesRetreat.com. It's a little bit longer to get to. Either one works.
Fabulous. All right, Chef, what do we got going there?
So I just did my biscuits, and I did do them a little rushed. They didn't rise very well, but whatever. Julia Child says, never apologize, right, for the food that you make. So I agree. And here's my gravy. So I would, probably, dig into that gravy and delicious.
Did you hear that crunch?
Hear that crunch?
Oh, the sound. I want one.
So that's the gravy. So that's a pan gravy. And that's pretty much what you would start with anyways. And I would probably have more broth, and those are all the ingredients. So we're going to do this free October 22nd on Thursday at 5 Central Standard Time and at 8 Central Standard Time from my kitchen virtually. And then from there, we're also going to talk about how you can plan for your Thanksgiving, when you should get your turkey, when you should get your ingredients, how to plan ahead of time so that you're not stressed. And if you need more help, then I'll talk about as well my Thanksgiving course, which starts the first week of November. So people can go to my website at Cocina, Cocina, Maribel, MARIB as in boy, EL.com. So cocinamaribel.com, and they can sign up there and for the Thanksgiving gravy class.
Maribel, I think we need to have you on like once a week until Thanksgiving and like something different.
Okay.
But the caveat, you have to say the item prior. So we can go like this.
Oh, I know. It's so good.
We can have that crunch too.
I know. Oh,
So I know you're hosting, it's a 6-week leading up to Thanksgiving class, right?
And on Thanksgiving Day, like Thanksgiving Day is the main thing.
Right. So we're doing all the sides starting the first week of November, second, third, and then the fourth week. We meet every week. And on that day, we get the turkey in the oven together. Most people like the whole turkey, so I'll teach you how to do that. But in the free gravy class, I will talk about 2 ways. One, when you have the turkey coming out of the oven and how you do your gravy. And 2, if you cut up your pieces and debone the turkey, this is what you can do as well for the gravy. So 2 ways, both are very applicable. And so yes, for the Thanksgiving course starts in November. The free class is October 22nd. So you'll get something out of it.
Well, how an amazing thing to do. Like if you are a mom or a mother-in-law, to give to your daughter-in-law, or to give to your daughter if she just got married, this is something you don't have to ask me. You don't have to, mom.
But right, like my daughters and I, we get together and we cook together. Like we just have like FaceTime up up in the kitchen, and we bake bread together. Like we do fun things.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we're just playing it. It's just because they're there and we're here. But the fact that you've shifted and be able to pivot and innovate in a way that you're serving your students, and now you've been able, because of technology, like at first it feels like, okay, now we have to do, like we can't see each other and we can't do all the things we were doing in person. But truly, and Tami, I imagine for you, like now there's no, like we can serve an even broader, more global audience. People can tune in and share. They don't have to travel. They don't have to get a babysitter. They don't have to get somebody to watch their dog, right? They can, I think there's so much opportunity happening right now. Both of you ladies, I think, have really, you're that business first responder. Like you're taking action and being there and creating that way for your community and the people around you. So kudos to both of you. I think, I want to check out that class. I don't know if I'll be able to attend. I can attend the Thanksgiving workshop without attending the Thursday thing though, right?
You can, yes, just sign up.
Okay. Yes. That sounds fabulous. I might actually get my girls involved in that too. We'll see what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what I hope. That if you know somebody that, could use the information, whatever, have them sign up.
Yeah, fabulous. Well, ladies, thank you. This has been a fun episode. I love that she says you never apologize for your cooking, right? Like as women, like we can, we could apologize less. I think that's probably a good place to start. Tami, anything else you want to close out with that maybe we didn't get to share with you today?
Oh, I just want to thank you guys for having me here. And I want to just leave you all feeling that go out and get inspired today by something that you can do. Find something that's going to give you that inspiration and make a new decision today.
Well, I think I'm going to go and have the ugly cry, right? Because I just think there's like so much emotion like bottled up inside of me, like all
I gotta stop myself.
Right. So I think that'll be happening with me today. So you won't see me on camera the rest of the day because my nose will turn bright red and I'll look like Rudolph and I'll be blotchy all the rest of the day.
My nose turns red too when I cry.
But it's cleansing. Like I'm not sad, right? It's just the release. So thank you all for your support, your prayers, your encouragement, your love, your grace, your kindness. I'm moving.
And she has a house.
I love how we started off the beginning of the call and you were like so nervous and like, I don't know if I can do this. And now you're like, I'm moving and excited about it because you've got your house and everything is just coming together.
It is coming together. It's nice. Like when you don't know, right? Like, okay, I got nothing. I don't know, right? It's the unknown that causes the fear, right? For all of us. And so, sometimes you just have to take action, take inspired action, become obsessed with what you want because you get what you think about most of the time. And when you have faith and you take action, the world shows up to support you, to guide you, and to create a miracle. And you guys have witnessed it throughout this show over and over and over again. I'm Angel Tessie. I am your media matchmaker. If you want to get started, right, with media exposure, you've got a brand new book. You want to know how to actually turn it into a revenue generating machine without any upfront costs, without any inventory. Let somebody else handle all the distribution and the fulfillment. Realize that 100 sales a day in the book is $1 million business just by monetizing your intellectual property. You can get started at makeyourbigimpact.com. That's makeyourbigimpact.com. I've got a complimentary media starter kit. And if you have a big event or a book or a business or a brand that you want to launch in a really big way, that's what Tickled Pink Media is all about. And you can text the word angel to 26786 and we'll get you some information on how to launch in a really big way using the Angel and Tina Morning Show as your launching point.
I'm so excited. And Tami was right. Like at the beginning of the show, it was just, she was like, I don't know. Maybe I should stay. I mean, we just sat there and watched it. And then I feel like so privileged too, because the last couple of weeks I've been able to just watch God just provide and provide and provide and provide. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going, okay, since you have a little upper hand, can you put a little thing in there for me? I'm Tina Torres, your client retention expert, also known as a gratitude specialist. And if you're struggling with building your audience or finding the right clients or even retaining those clients that you already have, I have a complimentary guide that I hope you grow your audience organically online and offline, connect and nurture those relationships authentically, and then take those relationships and turn them into paying clients. You can grab your guide if you text the word connection to 26786. That is the word connection to 26786. We are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show, where miracles happen every single day. Where we come live to you every weekday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. We are so grateful to you, our audience, our awesome guests today. We hope we brought a bright start to your day, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.